Hey YouTube, Shobi here with a review of the Power Rangers Super Samurai Barracuda Blade, the main weapon for the Gold Ranger, with the bonito bite and all that fun, punny stuff. So package is the generic weapon gear assortment package with all the elongatedness and Super Bazooka and Samuraizer I just reviewed that was stupid and all that fun stuff. So here is the Barracuda Blade. One thing I want to mention is I do not own the Sakanamaru, the Japanese version, to compare this to. However, thanks to the generic JD, I do have some measurements, so I will get to that when we go over this. So main features of the toy include the fact that it looks like a fish. That's not a feature, but it is to me. So here is that. This does spin. The Sakanamaru didn't include a spin function with this, because it didn't need to, but I don't know, they had the little spinny mechanism from the spin sword and decided to put it in there too. So this pops right off. It's just the Sushi Disk. I don't know what it's called in the Power Rangers version. If it has a name, I'll include it up here. But this is the disc that Shinken Gold used to transform, but since we gave him a different morpher, then this just became a generic attack disc for him. So that is included. It does nothing special because it's just a big plastic disc. So that slides on and slides off. For the ease of holding, I'm just going to set it aside. Yeah, it looks actually pretty nice. The overall toy itself is about an inch shorter than the Sakanamaru. However, the bladed portion is about a 3-inch or so bigger blade. This part right here is actually a significantly bigger blade than the Sakanamaru blade. The loss of length, despite having an added blade, is with the hilt right here. It's very small compared to the Sakanamaru hilt. It still fits my hand okay, but I have very tiny hands, so my opinion doesn't really matter here. But yeah, so keep that in mind. It's not as long as the Sakanamaru. It's a lot thinner than the Sakanamaru in terms of this direction. So keep that in mind. If you want something a little bit bigger, pick up the Sakanamaru. But keep in mind that the blade right here is actually bigger in this version, just like the spin sword actually. So it's got this little lock right here, so when it's in the sheath, it can't come out, which is pretty nice. So you press that down and then slide the blade out. The blade only does work in one direction because then the little lock can't work right there. You can see there is cell batteries in here because this lights up. When you press the Shiba logo right here, it lights up. You can't see anything, so let's turn our lights off. Which looks actually really nice. Now, the blade in the Sakanamaru was just a silver blade. The blade in the show is just a silver blade. When he attacks, it does light up gold. So this is a fairly nice representation of an actual attack. And the light up just adds a little element of gold power, and I like that. The cell batteries are touchy in these toys. This works just fine. But I notice if you hold it, it flickers a little bit. If you press down anywhere near the cell battery compartment, it starts spazzing out. So I would advise not doing that. But I really like the way the blade looks when it's all lit up and stuff. It looks really nice. So that's a cool little feature exclusive to the American version. Do I recommend this? I actually do recommend this. There's actually nothing else to go over. There's a belt clip right here. So you can attach it to your belt on the side. You can be like the Gold Ranger and just attach it to the back of your belt buckle. I think it's supposed to go the other way, but I don't really know. But anyway, it looks really nice. It's not a pure replacement for the actual Sakanamaru since this has no sounds. The Sakanamaru had a mechanism where you pulled it out, you waved it around, and it had a motion sensor. And depending on how many enemies you cut down, when you resheathed it, it will make explosions to mimic the fact that when he unsheathed it, time stopped and he went and spazzed around and cut things and then sheathed it and then everything exploded. So it's to mimic that. which only really happened once or twice, so it's not really a big deal. But yeah, there's no sounds or anything like this. There's only the light up gimmick. So keep that in mind. I think this is a nice alteration to the Sakanamaru. If you haven't picked up the Sakanamaru, this is a fairly nice substitute. I really like the longer blade, and the light up gimmick is pretty nice. I mean, if you're really hard up for the actual Japanese toys, then obviously this is no substitute for you. But I think with the $15 price tag, or $17 price tag, or somewhere around there, depending on where you buy it from, then this is actually a pretty nice toy. Keep in mind that it is small. If you have hands that are bigger than mine, which is probably fairly easy to do, then you probably will find this to be too small. Kids will probably love the heck out of it because it's pretty much perfect for them, but this is a children's toy line. And just in comparison to the spin sword, it's much shorter, obviously, but the spin sword came with this segment detached, so that's why I can handle that. But the sheath, not the sheath, the hilt length is about the same on the Barracuda Blade and the spin sword. So if you have the spin sword, you kind of know how long the hilt of the Barracuda Blade is going to be. Overall, I like it. I don't have the Sakanamaru, so I can't particularly say which one I like more. But this is a pretty nice substitute for me, and I'm really happy with it, just like I am with the spin sword. So, great for kids. Collectors will probably be iffy on it. But regardless, I still think it's a pretty cool toy that looks great in the dark. It's usually not something good for toys, but the light-up effect is cool. So you can check out TrueConShow.com for the latest updates on my reviews and hauls. And of course, check out RidersRangersandRambles.com, bringing the latest token news in the craziest way possible. So take care and have a great one. Bye.